Yesterday, I held a socially distant conversation with a diverse group of voters in Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania, in Luzerne County. With just 2 days until Election Day, here's their message to Americans who are thinking about not voting.
I encourage you to make an informed decision, read both party platforms, read both candidates' websites, and it's your right as an American. Get out and vote.
Your voice is your vote. Your vote is your voice. Use your voice. If you want change, vote.
My grandpa used to say, if you don't vote, you do not have the right to show your opinion. And I have 6 beautiful daughters and 8 grandbabies, and they're all out, and I beg them to vote.
I have nephews and nieces. Guess what? I'm setting up their America. So go out and vote, because your interest rates, your highways are in it, your water is in it, your fresh air is in it, your soil is in it. Go out and vote for that.
Today we're hitting our last stop on Velshi Across America. I'm here in Philadelphia, the largest city and perhaps the most pivotal state in this election, Pennsylvania, to get a better grasp on how folks here are thinking about this election. Now, yesterday, I traveled to Luzerne County and the city of Wilkes Barre, about 2 hours away from where I am now, to have a socially distant conversation with a diverse group of voters. We had 3 registered Democrats, 2 Republicans, and 1 independent. We spoke for about an hour and covered several topics, but I started the conversation by asking them who they're voting for and why.
I'm voting for Joe Biden because I respect him. I believe that Joe and Kamala, they will unite this broken, they're going to try really, really hard to unite this broken country.
I'm voting for President Donald Trump because he has kept his campaign promises, #1 on the economy. My family has personally benefited from his economic policies.
I'm voting for Biden, and I'm voting for Biden because I care about the environment, and I know that President Trump has basically done a lot of rollbacks from an area from the Gulf Coast of Mississippi originally, and I know that what offshore drilling has actually done. I'm very concerned about the environment, and that's the reason that I voted for Biden.
I am voting for President Donald Trump. I voted for him last time also, and I actually have more respect for him now than I did then. He has done a fabulous job. He may come off gruff and rough, but I've never seen any president do as much for the country, and he doesn't get the respect he deserves.
I am voting for Biden. Unfortunately, the criteria is basically because I think that he might be able to beat Trump.
I am voting for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. #1 because I believe in women's reproductive rights, and I believe in criminal justice reform. And I think that these are 2 very large issues that need to be addressed very soon before everything goes downhill.
So let's talk about this. I think we probably have broad agreement that we have a civility problem in this country. What does the next president do to fix that?
I think he does have to be uniting, and he has to respect all sides. And we've seen churches burn down in Philadelphia because of the riots. There was a Baptist church that burned down this past week because of the riots.
In regards to Black Lives Matter, equality, I am a biracial young woman in America. I wake up every single day with a father who I worry. He goes to the grocery store, he goes to the gas station, he may not come back, and these things need to be fixed immediately. I'm fearful that because of the color of his skin, he can be killed. He can be doing simply nothing and being killed. And that's just a fear that I have for my father and anyone of African-American descent. It's just very scary.
I think it is scary. I think I've grown up in cities like Brooklyn and Philadelphia, as well as in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, which are very different cities. And I've had issues with the police in all those places. And I'm not a criminal. I don't enjoy any criminal activity. I'm a business owner, and I'm an upstanding citizen. And I've had to take the police to court, which I won, but it was just a harassment situation. So I've been there. I think it's really just the way I look. I'm a black man from the 90s, and I wear dreadlocks, and so I think that, it just speaks to what it is. It's never not been this way in this country, and so I think that Trump has given voice to folks that are not concerned about that, and so it's easy to accept what maybe he has done well and overlook what he's not doing well. And so it's easy to overlook that when you're not affected by it. But I would really like to see people have more compassion about their fellow man and woman and sort of operate from that degree.
Everybody, no matter what color you are, what creed you are, female or male, you need to stand up for what's right. People should not be burning places down. They should not be inciting riots. I can't believe the ALC does what they do. Where are the people standing up for these cities before they burn down? So many people are scared, and it's not just the color of your skin. And I think people need to get that through, because I don't see color.
I would want you to see my color, but I also want you to see my humanity. If they recognize someone's humanity and do not tell me that, oh, we live.
I am in Pennsylvania this morning, a state which is critical to there's the train. Yeah, I just told you, the train coming. It's critical to the success of either Joe Biden or Donald Trump in this coming week. Cannot stress this state's importance. Right now, an average of recent polls shows Biden up roughly 4% on the president. But after 2016, who knows what to believe? And as millions of Americans prepare to head to the polls amid the global pandemic, safety and general well-being is certainly on their minds. During my sit-down with a panel of 6 voters in Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania yesterday in Luzerne County, I asked them why they want the person who wins what they want the person who wins the election to do after they win.
I think it's important to have the vaccine ready to go, and I'm very proud and happy to see that we're on track to probably getting it ready in January. But I think Donald Trump has done a good job, and I want him to continue doing what he's doing. I think the #1 thing that has helped us is his travel ban from China and other countries that were heavily affected.
Hope, what does the next president need to do?
Masks. It is said by the scientists that wearing a mask can save hundreds of thousands of lives. And it's truly scary to me. This can affect myself, but more importantly, it can affect people that are close to me, grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles. And to see our own president of the United States not wearing a mask, it's just unprecedented.
Next president has to do sort of have the mask mandate. We need to have sanitation stations everywhere. We need to have stricter guidelines when it comes down to cleaning facilities.
I think just be realistic about what the situation is. Like a lot of the other countries have been, they seem to be way ahead of us as far as their ability to reopen and deal with the new surge. So it just seems like, well, Trump has admitted that he delayed his movements in terms of culling the situation, and then he caught it. And you never see him wearing a mask. He's in these huge rallies with no masks, and the people who vote for him wear masks. So I don't know why the two of you will be wearing masks if you feel like his policies are straight and they make sense.
Mm-hmm. If someone's not spitting, not singing, if somebody is 6-9 feet away, if I go to dinner, I take my mask off, but the person right serving me is wearing a mask. Like, it's all interpretation. It really is.
The White House this week put on their website, the part of the White House that deals with the pandemic, that ending the COVID-19 pandemic was one of the accomplishments of this administration. Do you believe that?
The pandemic is still here, but I think they're handling it correctly.
But they said ending. They put it under the list of accomplishments, ending the pandemic. That would be a lie. You have to agree with that, right?
Ending the pandemic.
As an accomplishment. If you put on your resume ending the pandemic, that suggests you ended the pandemic.
No politician can end a pandemic, first of all. Nobody. I don't care if it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump. You can't leave it up to a politician, all right?
So who would you leave it up to?
I would leave it up to us finding a vaccine, which he's on track to do.
So scientists and medical people.
Yes, which he's doing.
I've recently been to a Biden rally. Everybody was in their cars. They were distanced. Everyone had masks on. They were just doing everything that would help get rid of this, well, at least control And then you see a Trump rally where no one, the people with masks on are just for the photo. The other people, they don't laugh. They don't have masks on, and they're not social distancing, and he is promoting that. So a lot of these deaths are on his hands.
I find that Trump is an absolute marketing and media wizard, and I think that that is why it's very difficult to have a conversation with anyone who believes in what he's doing, because it has nothing to do with right, wrong, or the facts or otherwise. Most people don't look into facts, especially Americans. We know how uninformed Americans are about history, about current events, etc. The studies are all over the place about how uninformed Americans are. When you're that uninformed, you look to the media. And so you get your information from there. And because he's a wizard at that, he's got those folks wrapped up in anything he says. Anytime I've ever heard anyone speak about Trump, he says the things that, they say the things that he says. They don't have their own interpretation. We've seen it here. And it doesn't matter if you show them facts 1,000 times over, because their interpretation is what he has explained to them.
I am not one to say it is Donald Trump's fault that we have the coronavirus. That is just not true. But he is the commander-in-chief, so he has control to control the virus. He can model the correct behavior, which is to wear a mask. She said, I was also at the Joe Biden rally. You had to stay in your car. If you wanted to cheer, you beeped your horn. And you see the total opposite behavior on the other side. For people to say that this is not on his hands is simply just incorrect.
Everyone is looking for the person on the white horse to come in and give a level of saving, right? And I think that that's part of the piece, is that now the way that our countries are sort of working for, it's like, well, who's going to save us? But we are the ones that we're waiting for.
Many thanks to my Wilkes Barre panel and to everybody who's participated over the last several weeks. And of course, I couldn't have done it without my team in the field. So to all of you, thank you as well. It's been a lot of fun.